Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your extra daily dose of skill. And today we are going to play with Oni. Or I supposed to say meet Pinata, which will make enemies very happy. Unfortunately, but this tank is like a boat, and this tank is kind of useless in the current world of tanks. And the most important thing this tank supposed to have is armor, and you do not have armor with this vehicle. So we can easily call this tank a Pinata. This tank is not the most competitive tank in the world of tanks, and for a very first game I am showing this tank performance with a derp gun just to show how bad this tank is. For a second game we are going to use the different gun, and I will show you how the tank can behave if obviously we are going to have a lucky game. So all in all, this tank has 3 types of ammunition. AP useless, heat 150mm of penetration, and high explosive have 75mm of penetration. As many of you know, high explosive ammunition got nerfed recently. What that means if you are not penetrating tank, there is a huge chance you are not going to do any damage whatsoever. So that's why it is not a great thing to play with this vehicle with a high explosive gun. It is like a cover 2, but way worse. Okay, cover 2 compared to this vehicle is the best tank in the world of tanks. Unfortunately, but with this vehicle you need to somehow figure out how to make pressure, because you cannot really snipe too much with obviously derp gun, and you need to try to approach enemies who does not have any armor whatsoever, which can be a very tricky thing to do. So for example, if you are meeting tanks like Spitz, you are feeling great. If you are meeting tanks like now, no! If you are meeting tanks like Tiger 1, you are in trouble, because he will eat you while you are going to reload. So you need to keep this in mind. I want to beat the living crap out of the Mr. Spitz for obvious reasons, but in the same time, I do not want to take that many risks. Let's see, Spitz. Oh, yes. Yep, this is how you are playing with this tank. You are targeting vehicles which does not have armor whatsoever. That's what you are trying to do. Next victim will be this Tiger 1. Why so? Because we have his rear. And you know what is happening when you are shooting into the Tiger rear? You are not penetrating him. Any questions? No? Good. Good to hear that. Okay. What do we want to do? We do not want to annoy our Chrysler for obvious reasons, and we want to help our Chrysler. At this point, I am just trying to hit this guy wherever just to eliminate him from the game, and at this point we need to turn around already. Why do we need to turn around? Because there is quite a bit of the guys who are going for us and who wants to make us suffer. Panther 88, Scorpion G, and many others. And at this point we are waiting until they will be aggressive. Oh, aggressive they will be, fellas. You can be sure about this. So all we need to do, we need to meet tanks who does not have a good armor. So once again, for example, this gentleman, he doesn't have good armor, and we still hit him for only 160 damage. And we are on the reload for 20 seconds. Ay. Once again, derp gun is out of the map already for this vehicle, fellas. I truly want to highlight this, and I want to show this to you, so you are not going to make a silly goose mistake, and you are not going to use the derp gun yourself with this vehicle. It's just simply not worth it. Although talking about worth it, not worth it things, you will see one beautiful stuff now. What do I mean by saying this is, you see the Scorpion G? Yep. You are going to see a beautiful stuff. So he's thinking he's having 200 IQ and he is flanking us, but joke's on you. If you will peek, you will regret your life choices. Side shot, bam. We hit him for 400, that's completely fine. and now we are going for a Scorpion G. And now, Mr. Scorpion G, if I would be you, I would be very, very afraid and very paranoid. Meanwhile, 5 seconds left, hip hip hooray, we are going to smack him in the face, just like so. Nice. Beautiful game. Skill, you said this gun is not worth it. Fellas, listen, I was very, very lucky in this game. That's why we have performance like this. We met some tanks who does not had, which did not had any armor whatsoever. Scorpion, Spitz in the city, and so on. That's why we have a performance like this. If not those two vehicles, we would barely scratch 1000 damage. And this is very, very worth thing to highlight. So, yeah, you know what is the funnest part of all this? With this performance, this is ace. Absolutely insanity and madness, if you would ask me. Anyways, 1.2 base experience for what? 1.2 base experience, 2.7 thousand damage, 35,000 credits as a bonus. Very nice, thank you very much. Now, let's show you the proper gun and how to play with this vehicle. And once again, the most important thing is for you to try to bully opponents who does not have that much penetration. If you are playing against the tier 9s, you are doomed. You do not want to play against the tier 9s, and this is very important thing to say. Meanwhile, while we are waiting for a battle, fellas, remember, there is index page. You can see setup for every single tank, what kind of setup you can use and how you can play. For example, with this vehicle, I'm playing with a hard ring, rammer, and rotation mechanism, right? You can see the crew setup, what kind of skills you can train on the vehicle. You can see average performance which you need to have in order to get Mark of Excellence. You can find the field modifications, and obviously remember you can find the ratings of the tanks. Red means bad, yellow means it is playable, green means it is good, and purple means it is epic or very, very good, however you would call this, right? So keep this in mind, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully index page will help for you, especially if you are a newer player in the game. Meanwhile, we have a tier 7 matchmaking, and there is 2 artists, so I don't really think we have too many choices in this game. We are simply going into the heavy line and we are waiting until enemies will make one or another mistake. That's all we need to do. There is no other choice for us. Maybe playing defensively, and maybe it's not that bad of a choice, to be fair with you, because IS-2 will be very, very aggressive and he is going to go in front like there is no tomorrow. I have an idea. I'm going to sit here and I will wait until enemies will mess up. Speaking about messing up, if this gentleman will try to cross like this, we will try to hit him. Meanwhile, standard ammunition, 190 millimeters of penetration, 330 alpha damage, 900 shell velocity. Gold has the same shell velocity, but gold has the same shell velocity, but it has a bit more of the penetration, which is always nice and always welcome for obvious reasons. But as you can see, even penetrating King Tiger can be a struggle, although King Tiger is better armored tank than this tank is, and I'm not joking, I truly mean it. Okay, let's see. Can IS beat the living crap out of us? Oh yes, he can. Can Art beat the living crap out of us? Oh yes, he can as well. Is there a tank who can't beat the living crap out of us? Not really. The thing is, one more thing to highlight, aiming via this tank Boobas is very complicated. If you would pay attention at the reticle, you would notice how it is jumping just because of the Boobas. You see those jumps? It is just because of this tank shape, so keep this in mind. This can be very complicated and definitely not the most enjoyable gaming experience just because of this, right? So please keep this in mind. Other than that, at this point, we are just waiting until enemies will get a bit involved. Until the moment, whenever we will know, we can make a bit of pressure for the enemies and we can actually punish them for making mistakes. Luckily for us, IS-2 is a tourist. I think he got disconnected or something, because that's why he is going into the water. What can I say? F in the comment section down below for IS2. He has a bad internet connection and he is drowning. Shame. But once again, it is not this guy's fault. He got disconnected and he can't change absolutely anything about this. He just simply cannot. Okay. So, what do we want to do at this point? At this point, I would love to make a bit of pressure. Where enemy Su-100 is, there is a huge chance enemy Su-100 is sniping from the back here. So what do we need to do? We need to try to blind fire this gentleman. This is only one way how we can get some use at this point. Although our team is winning by 3000 hit points, and this is indication of push. Don't think. Push. Push, because this is the way. So this is what we are doing. We are not thinking, we are just tapping the W and we are going in front like there is no tomorrow. This is very important thing for us to do, because if we are not going to make pressure, there is a humongous chance we are going to finish this game with one shot per game, and then I won't prove my point this gun is actually better than a derp gun is, right? It's definitely important thing to say. Luckily for us, the King Tiger is spamming high explosives, so he is not a threat for us. That's good. And now we want to see this Esterva 74. Where Esterva 74 is, I would not act surprised if he is sitting a bit deeper here, and if he is, we should be able to penetrate him with high explosives. Oh yes, indeed, he is sitting here, high explosive, bam, penetration, 400. How unhappy he is, from 1 to 10, I would say 10. He is not enjoying himself, and oi, I would say minus 100, fellas. He is not very happy whatsoever. He just got claimed by one Russian who is playing with Arta. He simply sent him home, and he did not enjoy himself. And this is a game over. 5 minutes, fellas, of World of Tanks. This is how you can spend your time, right? Not super exciting game by any means, but in the same time, I do not know what I could have done differently. By saying this, I mean, I wasn't aggressive enough from the very first moment into this game, and this is the biggest problem for us, fellas. Since I wasn't playing aggressively, we just finished the game like this. And funny fact, Oi is heavier tank than I am, so he did 88 damage for us, and we haven't done any damage for him. Crazy, right? Even though this tank is looking chunkier, this tank is looking so much bigger, but as you can see, size is not everything. Weight matters quite a bit as well. Anyways, second game, I'm not very happy with this performance, I'm not very happy with this result, but we need to take a one for the team, and we simply need to accept this. So 1.3 thousand damage, 600 assisting damage. Funny fact, this would be enough to get the third mark of excellence. I know, crazy 1.8 thousand expectations. We are fourth by experience, we are third by the damage, and we made 25,000 profits. Great, let's go for round number 3. Oi, round number 3, we get skill. We have a tier 8, tier 7 matchup in Prokhorovka. Luckily, there is only one Arta, so we are going to bleed out slowly, but this is not going to be very fun. Okay, now, with all respect, boys and girls, with all respect, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we have no business to do in 1-2 line. We need to play in the middle somehow, and our goal is to play well. I know this is complicated and I know it's hard, but this is exactly what we need to do. How we are going to start the game? I would say we are going to take this position right here, and hopefully from this position we will be able to support the hill and hit someone a couple of times. That's the whole goal. Luckily we have ELC in the bush, and he is extremely excited about this matchup, and he should be. And he should be, fellas. We are taking our time to aim for this guy and we are smacking him for 330 in the face. That's pretty good. I am feeling very happy with this, and luckily for us, actually not really luckily for us, we are getting outspotted. Okay, what do we have? We have an enemy Ergashem Borshik, right? This is not exactly what we are looking for, and our T-29 said, "Hasta la vista, baby." Well, hashtag never lucky, I guess. He misplayed, he was a bit too aggressive, and he took one for the team. What can I say? Unlucky. Meanwhile, Ergashem Borshik is sitting in this position, so what we are doing, we are informing our team about Ergashem sitting here, and we are just going for a blind shots. No blind shots for us, only Ergashem is smacking us in the face or in the boobas, and we are getting farmed by the Arta. This is not fun. This is not fun, my friends. This is definitely not fun. But once again, that's World of Tanks for you, and this is what you can expect while playing with this tank. There is nothing shameful of not performing well. There is nothing shameful of not enjoying yourself whenever you are playing with the tanks like this. And there is nothing shameful of misperforming. There is nothing what you can change about this, fellas. So at this point, we are just trying to hunt this Ergashem Borshik, who is sitting in this position, and I am crossing my fingers. We have hit this guy with a blind shot. That's what I am crossing my fingers for. Meanwhile, we are going for a blind shots and we are trying to punish him, but this is going to be a big pain in the ass to do so. Meanwhile, enemies are kind of being aggressive in this side, and if enemies will keep being aggressive, we should be able to smack them once or twice. This is what we want to see. I believe it's quite clear, speaking about the list. This guy is trying to spot for his team, and whenever he is trying to spot, he is overpeaking. Whenever he is overpeaking, we have a chance to smack him back. Meanwhile, enemy was might start thinking about decapping the base, and this is the situation, this is the position where we need to be at this point. If enemies are going in like there is no tomorrow, we need to use this opportunity to smack them in the ass, right? This is what we are doing, and this is how we are playing. Good. Now, obviously this IS-5 is thinking he made a good decision here, and maybe he did, but now he is bad. He is simply in the garage. Nice. This is what we want to see. Meanwhile, I do not really think enemies need to be aggressive at this point. What do I mean by saying this is no one is going to be aggressive here. There is simply no point for them to do anything aggressive. So, what we can do at this point, luckily our ELC even is still alive, he is still healthy, and that's very important for us. So what we are going to do at this point I kind of want to get a bit closer and load high explosives. Why so? Because there is plenty of the enemy forces who are sitting here and who can misplay. And if enemy forces are misplaying, we need to smack them. Now, Ergashem Borshik is the next victim for us, hopefully. Where he is exactly, I do not know, but I am trying to go for a blind shot. This could be a blind hit. If I am hitting all my blind shots, this Ergashem should be down to one-shottable. How about shot here now? Definitely not a direct hit, but once again we are chilling, we are relaxing, and we are having a relatively good time. So let's go for another blind shot. Definitely not a hit. That's okay, we are just taking our time, fellas. As wrong as it sounds, we still have a great chance to win this game, even though we are losing by amount of the hit points. But it doesn't really change absolutely anything. I'm trying to go for a semi-snapshot for T-29. Luckily we are hitting him, and enemies are going in to decap the base. Now we are going to have quite a bit of the troubles here, fellas. This is not going to be really funny. This is not going to be really funny. Okay. How about another blind shot for this Ergashem? That will do the job. Okay, beautiful. Ergashem is eliminated from the game. And if we fully destroyed him from pretty much 1100 hit points, this is a very big fat victory for us already. So, what do we need to do? We need to try to spot this side. This is very important thing. Where enemy light tank is? This is a good question and a hard question to answer in the same time. It is very hard to say where this mother trucker is sitting at. Probably, I would guess he's sitting here. This would be my initial guess, but I cannot peek, because if I will peek, I will take a huge one for the team. I am very well awered by enemy art, but I cannot do absolutely anything about this. And maybe we could... Oh, double penetrator is making a bit of pressure and trying to take our time to aim, and boom. Very, very, very nice. Can we smack him once again? Scorpion should be able to eliminate him from the game. I'm going for a blind shot like this, and once again, we still have some time left in this game, and this is exactly what we want to do. Meanwhile, enemy Su spotted, we are smacking Su. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Su is still... He never ever was spotted, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Never ever was spotted. So what that's supposed to mean? That's supposed to mean this guy is sniping either somewhere here in the back or he is on top of the hill. Honestly, more I think about this, more I would guess he's sitting here in the back. That's what I think. And you know what? I have a feeling the enemy light tank is not over there anymore. I think he could have escaped, right? Okay, looks like this is a game over. Beautiful. No complaints, no regrets. I am just accepting this, raising my PP, and celebrating victory. So, the most important question. Have we killed Ergashem Borshik blindly from A to Z? We had like, what, 1000 damage visible or something. We will see how many times we hit this gentleman, right? Fingers crossed, and I'm hoping we killed him from full. If that's the case, then absolutely amazing. Ergashem Borshik. 750. Okay, so we hit him couple of times, we damaged his engine, we effed his track, and that's very, very good. We had like 1.7 thousand damage maybe, or 1.6, I can't remember. And we have 2.5 thousand damage, 500 assisting damage, and everything went kind of well in this game. I am happy with this. So in the end of the day, we are fourth by the damage, we are second by experience, and we made 26,000 profits. Yummy, 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 yum. And in the end of the day, our performance with this big fat meatball is 2.2 thousand damage and 400 assisting damage. Could be a bit better, but I misplayed second game. I wasn't as aggressive as I could have been, but once again, I'm not going to cry over this. Beautiful performance, beautiful game, and here you go. We made the meatball work. Speaking about Mark of Excellence requirements, just to prove what I said before, in order to get Mark of Excellence on this tank, you need 1.8 thousand, and it's fluctuating between 1.8 and 1.9, pretty much. This is how much you need to do in order to get Mark of Excellence on this tank. So now, thank you very much for watching. That was your daily dose of skill, and see you very, very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.